Hi class. So the something we're gonna start, which is extremely important. That's when actually Dreamweaver really strive is actually managing your style. Dreamweaver is the most powerful web authoring program to create styles, add styles, and manage your styles. Have not seen any other program that actually does that for us. So we already have done styles, inline style, embedded style, and external style. Now we're gonna try to manage everything together. So to work with the styles, we have to go to the CSS designer right here. And if you went to the current tab, this is not the view you want to be in. I want to go to the all button view right here. So here are all the resources. If you have any embedded style up there, not inline style would not show, will also appear in a separate sections in here. And we want to see the Washington style.css. And these are actually the styles we created with the HTML. If we have a click on H1, which is the tag, then you can see the property that I used to do this H1, but you're not going to see everything. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to extend this a little bit to see everything I wanted to see in this particular style. Okay, so what we're gonna do next is the following. Oh, let me see what we've done this. For H1, we align it center, and we don't have any other color. We don't have anything that we're gonna work with. Now here, all this stuff is actually breaking up into sections. So this is the layout section. This is the text section. This is actually the border section. Here is the background section. And here if you want to just do the old way of inserting just the codes. It helps you greatly doing that. So let's go back to the layout. This is actually from the very top and going down. So since it's a tag style, and since those styles are already there, I don't have to be anywhere part of the page to work with this. So whatever I apply to this style, it applies automatically to those the tag styles or the class style or the hashtag style or ID style. So at this time, I want to add colors. So I want to change the color of my H1. So I'm going to go to the text right here because this is the colors I want to work with. I'm gonna start looking in here. So this is the color, font family, style, variant, stuff you need to be familiarize yourself with a lot because you're gonna use that to enhance your page. So at this time, it has a automatic or default color for this font. So I'm gonna change that. Now I want this color right here. I can't tell exactly what the color is, but this actually there's a color picker that helps me to fix that. So this is the color picker. So I'm gonna click on it and go ahead and select that color from the flag. And once that is done, hit enter to accept. So now you can see that Washington State heading 1 matches exactly what the flag is right here. I'm going to change the font type of the color to something different. These are the what we call web-based, web-safe font type, and there's more we can manage and go to Google and search for those. But I'm not gonna go to make that hard for you to follow, but something you want to explore and do that on your own would be nice. But this actually web-safe fonts that should all computers should have that. There's a fonts actually you can download and they're linked to Google, so it doesn't matter what computer they are using as long as they are online. As again, that's the key point. As long as they are online, they can see that particular font. Now, the font again, if that Cabrera is not available, then you go to the next family group right here in that order. So didn't change much. Maybe let me go to another one. The font style, font size. We're gonna do double extra large right here. We're gonna do, I'm sorry, size, which is extra large. See how bigger it got. And we want to now work with H3. So we're gonna select H3. You're gonna do something similar. I'm gonna change the font family to the same to match, and I wanna also change the size to large. So you can see all the heading 3 I've changed based on what I'm trying to do here as well. So Control S to save. And it's best to see that the Cascade style sheet has that save. So it's probably sometimes you want to do save all, which is to make sure that all the associated file with that web page is actually saved as well. So right now I'm gonna talk about, we already know about the text, the class style, but now we have a more specific class style. What does that mean? I mean, I can say, I can add a tag front of the text style, then that class style, and we're saying that class style only applies to those particular paragraphs. So let me explain. So I'm gonna first right click and rename. If it doesn't work, let me double click and rename it that way. And in front of the period, I'm gonna type P. What does that mean is that particular class style should only apply to paragraph tags. So I click enter, accept. Now what I'm gonna do with this paragraph style, I'm gonna go to the background right here. I'm gonna change the background color to EFD5A4. I gave you that number here, which is again # EFD5A4. I'm sorry, I'm trying to write, see what I've written. Click enter to accept, and you can see I have changed the color to something a little bit brighter. I'm in the border style, so this is the background. I'm going to change the border style to 3 pixels. So right here, this 5 pixel. So, and I'll change it from 5 to 3. Right away, it's 3 pixels. I can change the style to, instead of outset, to solid, to dashboard. I'm going to do dotted right here. And you can see I maybe want to do dash. Maybe it's something you're more comfortable with that you can actually do it here. So I'm going to, again, Control S to save. So I'm going to create a new style. Just want to make sure there are 3 pluses in here. You want to be careful not to touch any of those except the selectors. Here to create a new source, maybe you have one page can have multiple sources of Cascade style sheet. One is for layout, one for the format, and one for they have different purposes. And here is actually for media style or global style. This is actually dedicated for different views. This is to revise the way the page looks on a different window size, or maybe tablet or phones or mobile smartphones. Again, this is a little bit more advanced. I'm not going to be able to cover that. It's need 2 weeks by itself. But I need to create a new style right here. Here to remove a style, here to add a new style. So I'm going to click on add new style. Let me undo this. Oh, you know what happens? Why did this style appear right away? Because it's recognized where I am, and I'm in my body tag, in my paragraph tab, and my image tag. So it's trying to, and we will use that technique for when we work with something else, to help us automatically apply style only for this particular tags. What I'm going to be doing, I want to do image. So type image. I click enter to accept. Now I'm going to apply borders to those images to kind of, not borders, just a margin to kind of keep the text away a little bit more from the image because it's too close. To view the margins, I'm going to click on the layout right here. And here is, again, they are locked. Be careful not to unlock them. And all I have to do now is just type one box, and all the sides will be the same. So I'm going to type 3, hit enter. Oh, it was unlocked. Let me do that again, delete it. I'm gonna lock it. See how I locked it? And type 3 again. So they all have the same margin. So again, I'm gonna control S to save. And this is like, as you can see, images. So this is applied to this one, applied to that one. So any image now we have in all web pages that are attached to this particular style, this style is actually applied to automatically. And probably that's not a very good idea. So I might probably want to do it to one area only. So what I want to do is I'm going to click on this image and just remove it. Now I'm going to create a new style. And this new style, I'm going to give it a class style. So I'm going to name it dot Rainier. So this is again applied to only certain places or certain paragraph, in this case images, that I want to apply to. Again, I'm gonna go right here, go to my layout. I'm sure in my layout, I'm gonna do the right and the bottom margin, change it to 0, from 0 to 8. So right, well, I'm gonna do left from here. Mine is different than yours maybe. So I'm going to do this one 8 and this one 8. Now this margin has not applied anywhere. It's just waiting for us to tell it where to apply it to. Okay, so then I'm going to select the mountain right here. Go to the property. Then I'm going to apply that source to it, and that source should be Rainier. And you can see it's automatically added that information to it. I mean, not information, but the style to it. It added top margin and a left margin. We don't care about the bottom margin because there's a lot of spaces in there. Again, I'm gonna go ahead and file save all. Now, since I saved all, I'm gonna go ahead to my files and open King County, and we're gonna look for that image. But again, that image only, let me change. Now it is probably a good idea to change that image to right align if you wanted to, but this particular step we did, it's not gonna quite apply to this one because the right side is still 0. But that's okay. We can go ahead and apply it, and I'll show you how that is applied. It's just, again, we're practicing, and here we did that right there. Okay, so did the margin right here. I didn't do the margin right there. So to fix that, I'm gonna go back into Washington State, select Mount Rainier right here, and add another probably 8 points here. Okay, so, and that fixed this one and probably the other one as well. So go back here, you can see there's additional spaces on the right, which is fine, but that is fine. That's something, this is if you want to probably visualize it exactly how you want it and apply the style you think it fits the best for you. Okay, I'm gonna stop right here, come back to work with ID class and other styles we have to.